Hello and welcome to High Vibe Astrology. This is Jennifer. Thank you for joining me in this video where we'll be looking at the Libra full moon partial lunar eclipse drawn up for March 25th, 2024 at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. If you are new, thank you so much for being here and supporting this community with your energy. If you haven't, please subscribe, hit the like button, and share the messages as you feel guided. These are all free and easy ways to support this channel. And if this is your first time listening, please know that I interpret charts as a microcosmic view for what is playing out and being magnified in the collective. Each of us truly is a microcosm of the greater whole, and our experience reverberates into our world. So this channel is about bringing a higher perspective into the lens and story that the astrology reveals for the purpose of healing. And it's never a one-way street. It is reciprocal. When we heal the one, we're healing all. We're healing the collective. You could think of it too as one healthy cell in the body of the collective, and that cell, as it heals, empowers the next one and the next one until healing is what becomes contagious rather than disease and disharmony. So I trust you to take only what resonates and feels healing to you, leaving the rest for others to apply. And as I was meditating on the energies of this eclipse and asking for guidance on what exactly needed to be said, what could I share that would really get to the heart of the message this astrology chart is revealing to us? I was guided to pull a card from the Mayan oracle deck written by Ariel Pillsbury and Michael Brenner, or Briner. It's Bryner. It never ever ceases to amaze me just how accurate spirit responds when we ask. And in the last video, I shared an oracle message from my Rumi oracle deck, and I did the astrology first and shared that message at the end. But I think I'd like to start with this message. It absolutely conveys what I've been feeling and processing in terms of current energies, as well as the ongoing and overarching theme describing humanity's evolution and unfolding story. So I will begin with that, and as we go through the chart, then I'll do my best to connect the dots from this message to the astrology. The card that I pulled was Men, M-E-N. Men represents the evolution of individual consciousness into planetary mind. This process is symbolized by the eagle, whose vision calls to memory your part in the activation of the planetary miracle. Men's vibration is the root tone of compassion. Hold yourself in the translucent center of planetary mind, suspended in the center of Earth's crystalline core. The sacred core runs through you and the center of all creation, calling your light body to wakefulness. Quote, "Through you, Gaia, I am also transformed. I awaken as the return of divine love and light. We are all one. Gaia, as you awaken, I heal myself. As I awaken, you are healed, our petals opening ecstatically into the new sun of flowers." Unquote. Men asks a question of the universal quest. What is the secret of the Grail, and whom does it serve? The answer reveals, the earth and I are one, and so serve all. Such mythic experiences are as close as your next heartbeat, and you can discover them through meditation and prayer. Men is the beginning of the planetary ascension, the doorway to the great change in collective mind. It is the third directional guardian of the stellar brain, the flow of consciousness of all that is in this world. You are a member of the one global family, a planetary server and transformer. Men asks you to join in lifting the collective mind, It is up to each one of us to hold a positive vision and affirmation. For the means by which this miracle will occur is through changes in the one affecting the greater whole. Imagine the profound impact your loving thoughts have on planetary mind. You do make a difference. As you connect individually with a larger crystal grid network, your power is multiplied exponentially. This galactic grid is also known as the Mayan cobweb. By simply embodying light and love, you become the one who creates the miracle on Earth. As you dive into the oneness and experience the collective mind, deep feelings awaken. And as you process your part of the global pain, limitation, self-doubt, separation, fear, and suffering, you bring to light the consciousness of the collective, filling it with hope. Freed from judgment, your tears awaken you to true compassion and service. To the Maya, men represents the eagle, the one who soars in conscious flight above the earth, the one whose vision sees far beyond the mind of humanity. Men is the compassion of all hearts linked as one. Men is the essence of dawn, clear, fresh, and newly charged to fulfill your most cherished dreams. With unconditional love, men pierces the depths of collective hopelessness and lifts mass consciousness. It urges the alliance of the faithful of the stars to serve through their remembrance of the light. Each of us is a visible pillar of the etheric temples now grounding themselves on Earth. All beings help in the healing and lifting of planetary mind. Man is the keeper of the temple of the one family, here to make places for gods and goddesses to walk the earth again. Man is the keeper of sound, light, and color initiations. Through the power of song and sound, you can assist in restoring the vibratory pattern of perfection. By harmonizing sound and presence, you are sung by the one in the song of creation. Men's song calls to the creatures of the air, land, and sea. Harmonize with this new music. Discover and sound your own solar note to help ground the new golden octave and frequency on Earth. The greatest gift you can offer to the planet is simply to be the love. Believe in yourself and your dreams and visions. Remember your special gifts, your path of service on Earth, your promise to serve the light. Everything you are connects to the greater whole. You are star-seated. You have the vision of the eagle. Believe in your dreams. You are the hope and the vision revealed. The number for men is 15, representing the fulfillment of individual self and the foundation for universal self that brings you into harmony with global consciousness. The color for men is soft lavender. The ray of men symbolizes the violet flame that transforms all life. To reignite the flame of compassion and remember your purpose as a planetary server, focus on the color lavender. The harmonic vibration of men is flow, representing smooth, uninterrupted movement. Men is the flow of planetary consciousness. In this evolutionary development, whatever serves the larger pattern also serves you. In this, there is a model of flowing wholeness, of how to move gracefully with yourself and the greater whole. Men gives the cosmic dancer wings. It asks you to fly, riding the magical currents of your life with the vision and grace of a soaring eagle. The energy of men gives you the ability to flow in every moment, without preconceived ideas, plans, or belief systems, creating the crest of the wave on which you surf to new heights of joy and delight. The musical descriptor of this harmonic is legato, which means in a smooth and connected manner. The flight of the eagle is a perfect metaphor for this feeling, a gentle yet powerful flow of consciousness. The way to connect with this flow of planetary mind is being wholly on your own path, which leads to the universal road of the One. Being aware of your own wholeness naturally connects you to the flow of the larger pattern. So, where the astrology is concerned, we have a lot of important aspects to this full moon in Libra. The energy I'm feeling with this lunar eclipse is one of spring cleaning. It's an energy of clearing out the closets or the refrigerator, the dusty garage, etc. It's clearing the slate to prepare us for the Aries new moon total solar eclipse on April 8th. We know that all full moons are about completions, cycles that are closing out and releasing the old and outworn patterns. That's a given. But when we add eclipse energy to that, it does accelerate endings and beginnings, shifts and changes that can unfold 6 months to a year from now. What I feel with this one is that it's important for us to not just release the past, but to honor it, send gratitude for it, and bless everyone involved who may feel to you like there was a betrayal or, they did you wrong in some way. Without them, though, and that experience, you wouldn't be who you are right now in this moment, and you certainly wouldn't be as wise. I feel like that's the highest vibe that we can hold as we work with the energies of this eclipse and simultaneously release while we call forth the dream, the vision that we want. So, the only failure really is the one that we never learn from. If you have had or feel that you've had many failures, then you've learned a lot. You just maybe have to tweak your perspective, your belief around it, and your perception of it. And that's the ninth house energy. You have become quite wise in your spirit. So I feel like collectively we are becoming wiser. We have become wise. And it's only our perception of ourselves and our past. If we look through the lens of regret, that's what we're going to experience. But if we can turn that around and look through the lens of wisdom and gratitude, then that's what we're going to experience. And I'm reminded of what this amazing music teacher, he is an amazing cellist and master music teacher. David Darling is his name. Anyway, one of the quotes he had hanging in his classroom, because he used to teach improvisation, getting out of your head and just feeling the music and having a conversation. But this phrase said, 2 wrong notes in a row is jazz. And that's always stuck with me. I just love it because if you look at your mistakes, quote unquote, as a couple of wrong notes, you can put it in the context of music that you were simply improvising, experimenting, and you are creating an entirely new composition. If you can think of any past failures in that way, in that light, then it's easier to recognize it and honor it for what it is, a learning experience. If we are too exacting in our belief of what is a right move or a wrong move when it comes to conducting our life, then we'll always lack the courage to try a new approach. And the Aries sun and the Aries new moon total solar eclipse coming up is going to be about that, a brand new approach, a brand new beginning. So let's not regret one tiny thing about our past and never let anything along those lines drown out our dreams or drag us down into that cosmic ocean. We've got to stay buoyant at this time, honor every single person and experience from our past for all the beautifully played wrong notes and improvisations we experienced, because those experiences have made our life so much richer than it would be if we had never had those experiences. So in this chart, we have the moon and the south node occupying the ninth house, where we seek higher perspectives that have no ceiling, have no limitation. It's kind of like the sky's the limit in the ninth house. And even though we've got the south node representing our past, along with a moon that is reflecting on the past, I see this energy and feel it more as a positive impetus for changing our perspective so that we can then change our future. Usually the south node energy is viewed through the negative lens, but because of the oracle message that infuses, informs, encapsulates this lunar cycle, it's encouraging. That plus the fact that we have aspects to this particular moon and south node that are supportive and positive, things that are unfolding with this full moon lunar eclipse. So in this configuration, we are reviewing our past with more grace and gratitude than ever before. And it's holding the energy for me of spring cleaning with Virgo on the cusp of the ninth house. With the Libra Aries interception, these energies are analogous to that north node, uncharted, unknown, unfamiliar territory. And that is precisely the gift that this eclipse holds, that this chart and the energy and message of men. As the oracle described, it is our personal path development that immediately connects us to the greater whole. And this is the third house to the ninth house relationship, as well as the Libra South Node, Aries North Node relationship. The ninth house is the broad, bigger planetary mind energy, and the third house is the personal mind, the personal path energy. Aries is about the personal path, the pioneer, the independent person, while Libra is concerned with other people. So in my view, these energies and the placement of this axis really does reinforce the oracle. If we hold others and our own mistakes bound, then we hold the world hostage to limitations that do not serve our ascension and evolution. When we free others with gratitude and respect, we're freeing ourselves and the world. This full moon lunar eclipse is presenting us with that opportunity to not just let go of the past, but to honor it for the wisdom it's brought into our lives, specifically in the context of relationships. With the moon forming a square to the ascendant is describing how we immediately dawn upon others. The chart ruler is Saturn, and it happens, no coincidence of course, to be conjunct the ruler of this eclipse in Libra. So even though the moon is squaring off with the ascendant, the rulers are working in unison. The square is highlighting those triggers or experiences or those memories even, because both the moon and Saturn, the ruler of the ascendant, have a lot to do with history, with remembering or recalling the past. So whatever is coming up as a memory that is hurtful or still feels like a wound, this is exactly what we need to surrender to spirit for healing. Saturn is assisting Venus to restore natural balance, helping us truly master our relationship dynamic while we do that spring cleaning that Virgo is calling us to do, clearing out any and all beliefs around relationships that stirs up the wound again. That's where the work is. We also have a yod to the south node from Saturn and Venus and Jupiter. Saturn is 12 degrees, 49 minutes. We can round that up to 13 degrees. So it's a 2-degree orb from 13 Pisces to the south node at 15 degrees. Venus is at 16 degrees of Pisces, and it is definitely quincunx, that south node. And then on the other side, we have Jupiter at 15 degrees of Taurus. That can be rounded up to 16, but it is still a 1-degree orb and forming a quincunx to the south node. So this triangle forms what is known as a yod. It is a fated aspect. It's also called a finger of God. Again, this is energy calling our attention to the past as it pertains to our current worldview and how we need to change that perspective or heal it by using the energies of Jupiter and Saturn Venus to nourish a brand new philosophy of life. Yods represent fate at work in this lunar cycle, and it's called the finger of God because it is literally God calling us to express the highest vibration of these energies. This is how we wipe the slate clean for our divine inheritance, whatever that vision is for you. Venus rules the Libra South Node, and it wants harmony, balance, equality, and justice. Jupiter also rules higher justice, higher law. So together, I feel like these energies are going to restore all that has been out of balance, all that has felt unjust in any form or sense of the word. Now, with regard to the oracle and embracing the eagle's perspective as the planetary mind, we can see this energy in the grand trine between the moon, Pluto, and Sedna. So let's look at this configuration. We have Pluto in the first house, and this is no coincidence. We had it in the first house with a Pisces new moon. So this is about continuing our transformation of our identity, of our behavior, and how we navigate through life. We are transforming the collective zeitgeist mindset. We are actively and powerfully assisting the collective evolution simply by allowing our own personal transformation to take place. The grand trine between the moon, Pluto, and Sedna signifies a profound opportunity to transcend the emotional trauma from our past. And this includes any and all generational patterns that have outlived their expiration date. Patterns that have been passed down through the bloodline that absolutely need to change. This, again, symbolizes cleaning up all the old, moldy, cruddy food in the proverbial refrigerator of our past. Clear it out and clean it up. This is going to prepare the canvas for the Aries new moon solar eclipse. We also have Mars squaring Sedna. Mars in the second house is energizing and motivating us toward greater self-sufficiency. This is expressed through our divine connection, represented by the sign of Pisces. The square to Sedna represents tension between what we feel our personal ambitions are and any ego-based fears, and then that, as it maybe feels discordant with the role we feel we are working toward fulfilling as the planetary mind light worker. And this is the energy that Sedna most definitely represents. Sedna has the upper hand, though, because this is the planet most distant from Earth, and also as the planet representing the eagle, the highest symbol of the Scorpio energy. With Scorpio on the midheaven at the top of the chart, our mission and destiny in the world is also this transcendent energy. That eagle that wants to fly high, not just for the sake of making the ego feel good or celebrity status or anything superficial, but more as spiritual leader who can lead by example, by embodying the very principles that we are taking on as the planetary mind light worker. The intercepted axis creates a two-house rulership with Scorpio. So that means Scorpio is on the 10th and the 11th house cusps. To me, this really feels like the eagle's wingspan. It is spanning not just the 10th house, which is our home in the world, our destiny, calling, and vocation, but also the 11th house, which is the result of that mission or destiny and represents our future hopes and wishes as well. It holds the mutual resonance to Pluto in Aquarius. Scorpio in the 11th is the same vibration, but different signature than Pluto in Aquarius. Mars in Pisces, as the dispositor of this Aries Sun, North Node, Chiron, and Mercury, tells us that we are learning to develop our personal path, Aries, only this time allowing the ego's dissolution, finding our pathway forward by trusting Spirit's wisdom, even when we cannot define or see the steps forward. But staying in the moment and allowing our feet to dance with the music of the spheres is what we learned in the last video from the Rumi Oracle. Neptune is also the dispositor of this Mars in Pisces. Neptune is a co-ruler of Pisces, dissolving the hardcore need to control. So now let's look at Neptune's configuration with this full moon. This signature reinforces the energy of allowing our dreams to replace all patterns of regret about our past. As I was writing this, I was hearing the song, Once Upon a Dream. I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream. I know you, the gleam in your eye is so familiar a gleam. And it feels a lot like this eclipse season is a make or break moment for certain relationships. But honestly, the primary relationship we have to clean up is the one with ourselves. I've always said that we don't really fall in love with another person. We fall in love with a reflection of ourselves that we see in that other person. So the more cleanup work we do within our own being, the purer the reflection will be in another person, in our divine counterpart. And until we find that love within ourselves and our own divine connection or inner sacred union, it'll never manifest in the outer world. So that's the work we have to do first. If we are constantly holding ourselves in derision, false humility, or self-deprecation, making remarks about ourselves that are very unkind, that's what we're going to constantly meet in our external reality. Now is the time to clear that out once and for all and allow that gleam in the eye from the song to be seen within our own being before we can recognize it in the other person. Do you see your own value? Do you see your own worth? That's what needs to happen during this eclipse season. Until we do that, we will not manifest the dreams we want to fulfill and we want to manifest in our world. We can never give up on love, because if we give up on love, we've given up on life. And that is certainly not the role of the planetary mind light worker. So now let's move on to the Chiron-Mercury conjunction. Chiron and Mercury are the co-rulers of Virgo. And I've already talked about Virgo on the 9th house cusp, which is infusing our worldview and higher mind perspectives with an acute eye for value. What is useful? What is waste? The fact that we have these two working in unison with our destiny point, the North Node, means that until we clean out that proverbial refrigerator, all negative perspectives on our past, then this worldview will continue to be tainted by past trauma. Virgo is the sorter, so all of our thoughts, perceptions need to be sorted through and only keep what is nourishing and feels like a soothing balm to your journey at this time. Be compassionate with yourself and let everything else go. Next, we have Jupiter and Uranus in a conjunction, and this is working toward that exact conjunction on April 20th at 21 degrees of Taurus. It's interesting because I kind of feel like the number 21, which adds up to 3, is symbolic of the two polarities becoming one and creating a third entity. What is that third thing you want to create on your personal path and in your world? This is the gift that this eclipse season is bringing us. Jupiter expands our beliefs, expands our hope and optimism, reinforcing that oracle message. Uranus awakens, evolves, and liberates us. So together, these two are feeding the South Node energy to literally free us from our past, because we're finally able to see it through the eyes of faith, through the eyes of hope and optimism. Our dreams are becoming real, so dwell upon and energize your dreams and allow them to replace any previous nightmares or regrets. So that is basically all I have for you. I'm going to wrap it up there. Let me know if this feels resonant and applicable to your life and your journey. As always, I appreciate your support in whatever way feels right to you. And I hope that you will stay tuned for the frequencies which I'm sending with the highest vibration and intention for you on your path. I look forward to being with you next time. Bye for now.